off. So if you get the starter edition last week for free, because we gave it away on Uplay, which was pretty nice of you to do, Roman, you could actually upgrade it.
Only my choice.
Yeah, I know. Roman came in one day and was like, let's give it away. What that means, though, is you can actually upgrade to the standard edition, deluxe edition, gold edition. Gold is what I recommend when I tell you what the price is, because gold also includes the season pass. So I'll just break it down for you in case.
You're sure?
Oh, yeah.
Because it did not seem that sure.
No, I am very sure. I confirmed this.
So gold includes season pass.
Exactly. So, okay. So if you don't even own For Honor for whatever reason,
I'm trying to be as much a bully as possible, so you don't invite me anymore.
I can tell. You're making me mad, Roman. Okay, if you say you're a console player and you want to move to PC, you can get the starter edition for only $7.50. This is a 2-week sale.
Oh man, she said
€7.50. So check your local currency. Sorry, I have this only in euros. That's just for the starter edition. Standard edition, you can get 75% off.
Also,
$15.
And if you call right,
the thing for today is one ornament. It's sad.
$50. Now here's the one that I told you was the best deal. Gold edition, $25. $25 for the full game plus the season pass. If you just want to get the season pass separately, $20. We're just like making deals left and right. So tell your friends, this is a great time to get onto PC. It's actually been really crazy this last week. We have had so many players on PC specifically, which historically was our smaller player base of our platforms, just blowing it out of the water. So welcome to all of our new players. We're very happy. I'm happy. Are you happy?
yes,
You don't
very
seem
happy.
very happy.
I'm always very happy.
You are?
It's just the face,
It's just the face. I've got a thing that I can't announce because I'm still waiting on confirmation behind the scenes.
Maybe.
Well, we better. Well, whatever. There's stuff happening, guys, very soon that I can or can't tell you by the end of the show. Actually, speaking by the end of the show, you know how we usually do the raffles? So starting today, because we have some of these from E3, camera 2. Max is pointing at camera 2, but he's not cutting to it. We're giving away... Why does my hand look so weird? I don't like that. We're giving away the Marching Fire poster that our good friend Titletown Relo made, that we gave these to everyone who played the game at E3, and we have some extras and we wanted to share. We wanted to share
actually
with
really
our community. So stay tuned. Towards the end of the show is when we do the raffle. So we usually pick 5 of you. So stay tuned. Okay. I also just want to show this. We're not giving this away, but we did a contest as part of the Season 6 event. Beautiful. So we made these custom For Honor notebooks.
Yeah.
It's got our community.
So I don't have
logo
one
on it.
because I'm not nice to you.
Exactly.
Right?
We don't show you videos. We don't give you free stuff. I'm tangled up on my couch. So our winners have been notified. We're going to announce the winners once we have a blog post up. But that's a cool thing. So we're starting to roll through some... Yeah, you can have that. You can keep that. And that contest was super successful, so hopefully we'll do another one soon because there was so much amazing fan art and fanfic. So keep it up, guys. Okay. I wanted to give people an update on event orders because we've done a few in the last season that completed almost immediately.
A bit too fast.
Very fast. Before people could even get out of work to participate in the order, it would be completed, and that was never our intent. It was sort of miscalculation, misestimation, especially because they were like in tribute mode, so it's hard to tell with tribute because it's a lower played mode. Anyway, you weren't happy about that. We weren't happy about that. So there's an improvement coming to the game. I believe it'll arrive in Season 7 that will allow you to participate in an event order even after it's completed, when it's within the time frame of the order. But we don't have it yet, so until we have that improvement, we're only going to do event orders that are time-based. So within this period of time, do this thing. So that's how we're dealing with that until we get that improvement. So I wanted to let people know about that. So to that point, we have an event order this week. the Dominant Warrior Challenge.
Ooh.
At the end of the challenge, be the faction with the most Dominion matches completed. And it doesn't mention that what you get for steel there, but I have it. Do you know how much? Yeah, get ready for this. First place. So the faction that wins first place, everybody gets 2,500 steel.
Dude.
So you're taking advantage of the fact that Damien is not here.
Yeah. when Damien is away, we give away all of our money. Second place,
25,000
1,500
is
steel.
nice.
And third place, you still get 1,000 steel. That's pretty good. So that
1,000
runs
steel
until 3 p.m.
doesn't
on
really
25th of June. Cool.
mean
So,
much.
since we were away last week, even though we did a show, a very successful show, by the way. Thank you for watching that. If you watched it last week, lots of
It's
you
called
tuned in.
ubiquity.
Yes. We didn't actually get to show you the video for last week's content of the week, which was Elite Outfits. So we'll show that now, and then we'll come back and we'll show you this week's content of the week. So let's check those out.
Nah. They give us these Elite outfits and they give us an ornament today. It's sad. It's one ornament for every character. What? Nobody buys Elite and Battle outfits. Nah, no one really does, because no one really cares about them. I was hoping for executions or emotes.
Elite.
So that was last week.
That was last week. That came out last week. This week, to celebrate summer, Roman, because I know you love the beach, for 5,000
See,
steel.
that's the kind of sentence that I can't make.
That's true. That's true. For 5,000 steel each, we've got new ornaments. It's
Want
one.
me to try or not?
No, don't. One for every hero. So let's check out the ornaments.
Okay, so there are 18, fine. I thought it was just one ornament. Sun Cradle. That actually doesn't look bad. That one's not so bad. I like that one. That one's the one with the troll face on it. Literally. So... really, I've only seen two I like so far. Okay, I like that one.
It looks like Goldschlager. Those gold flakes. One thing we wanted to point out about those ornaments, like many of our ornaments, if you didn't notice, it reflects your team color too. So if you change your team color, a lot of the gems or other, like the feathers, the color changes. So that's pretty cool. Hi, Steph. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Well, we're pretty good.
Great.
Pretty good. Okay, so the thing that I was saying that we weren't going to talk about, we're going to talk about. So,
What are we going to do this summer?
what we're gonna do, not even this summer, but quite soon.
Really?
This is the thing, we can't say the exact date because we're waiting on final word for the date, but very soon, like within the next couple to few weeks, we're gonna do a tech test. And what are we gonna do in the tech test, Roman?
We're gonna test Breach.
Yeah. What else? We got
2
yeah.
Woolins.
The Shaolin and the Chandi.
And the Chandy.
And so that tech test is coming soon. It is a closed NDA test, which is something we did a lot before we launched the game. If some of you were here, I know a lot of you were here since Alpha, which is awesome. We found those to be super helpful.
Yes.
Helpful, obviously, to test specific things.
From a technical perspective, it's useful because it allows us to have many more people playing the code and
Than you
see
could
how
ever
the
have in a
code
play
behaves,
test,
etc.
yeah.
Exactly. But also it's really helpful for us in terms of feedback, balancing, both data-wise, in order to collect information on how the character works and the balancing stuff, but also data-wise for the mode, in terms of usage of the map, balancing of the ingredients and so on,
Yeah.
and also, of course, feedback.
Yeah. It was also super amazing for me on the community side. Doing those pre-launch, we had a bunch of them. It gave us the ability to actually really start to build a community before the game's out, which is always hard to do on traditional titles where it's like, all right, we have this trailer we can talk about for 9 months and then the game's out. People were playing the game regularly, which was super helpful.
So it will be based on the E3 code. It will be modified because we improved things on it and
Yeah.
we made some balances change, etc. So it will be Breach with one map, the one we showed at E3.
Yep.
All the fighters plus two Wulin, the Chendi and the Shaolin,
Yeah.
not the two other, not the Nuxia, not the Zhengjun. Those
We're not there yet.
and they will be at the release of Marching Fire,
yes.
and there will be other ways we'll do in order to balance them and tune them. But for that technical test, Breach in the new map with 20 fighters.
Cool. Yeah, so the main focus is the mode, but I know your team will be very interested to see how the feedback and data is for those 2 new fighters, right?
Totally. It was super exciting at E3 to get early opinions, and it'll be great to get the technical test results as well.
Cool. So
Because there is just 2 new fighters,
Yeah.
but there is other changes also in terms of fights in the technical test.
Yeah.
there sure is.
I guess we'll detail those when we get there.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
But if you have been watching some trailers, you know what I'm speaking about.
Yes, those sneaky Pete's. But that leads me back to mention it will be an NDA test, so it's closed. It's not an open beta, which means we can't have everybody in the whole community play. There's a lot of reasons for that. One of which is purely just like technical. We can't scale for what is it? I don't know, millions of people that play the game now. So you won't all get to play, and I'm sorry for you. But the selections are kind of based on your play time in the game, if you play a lot of PvP, if you have a strong PC, because it's not optimized.
Also, on how much Eric loves you.
This is true.
So if you spam him on Twitter,
Oh, no, don't say that. Please don't spam me on Twitter.
the
I'll
more
put
you
on a
spam
block
him,
list.
it's possible that you might or might not get it.
So yeah, I just wanted you to be aware. This is a very cool thing we're doing. Not everyone's going to get to participate. So, but stay tuned. Stay tuned over the summer. There's other things that might happen. But anyway, we wanted to say that because if all goes well, emails could start rolling out as early as next week, and I didn't want people to be confused, like, what the hell is this thing? So you may start to see those emails roll out next week if we're happy and lucky.
So it's on PC.
PC only, yes, PC only. Cool.
This one, PC only.
PC only. Okay, so Steph, you're here, which means it's patch notes time.
It's patch notes time.
And
yes.
you're here because there's some cool stuff that your team has done in the patch notes.
Yes.
So
If you don't know Steph, sorry for some of you newcomers, he is our fight team. These are the guys who design the gameplay of the characters. Fight team design lead? Is that what we'll call you?
Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
One of our fight designers who likes to come on the show and talk. So, shall we get into it?
We're still rehearsing It's not yet.
Working it out.
Yeah,
thought
it's
it
not
was a
yet
fusion
perfect,
dance.
so we're not gonna demonstrate it today, but we're getting close to it.
Yeah, one of these days you got to wear like the same outfit onto the show. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so patch notes. Like I said, it's not a super extensive one. This isn't one of those 15-page ones that we've done in the past, but there's some cool updates. I'll give the first one if I may, because this was a community-related one. And some people from our Reddit might remember this. So, when was this? It was months ago, because development takes time. Months ago on our Reddit, a user named FatMooch69, great name. He actually wrote a really touching remembrance of his friend who passed away, sadly. They played the game a lot together when it came out, and his friend B, that he called him in his post. They played a ton. B played as a raider, and he had a tragic, end, unfortunately. And the dev team saw that and were like, well, obviously this is super sad, but we can do something to immortalize this guy. And so we have made B a bot starting in this patch. So when you see a bot, so we got his actual name rather than just B because we thought that was a little vague. We reached out to FatMooch69 and we got his name, and it's the Lizard Wizard. So if you see that bot, it's a raider bot in the game. That's the story behind why we added that, and I'm pretty happy with that. That's a pretty cool thing to be able to do.
Yeah, it's an attribute.
Yeah, so shout out to FatMooch69 and a shout out to the Lizard Wizard. So that's a cool thing. Give him a good fight if you see him on the battlefield, and don't be mean to that bot. All right.
But the bot might be mean too.
That's true. The bot will probably be very mean. Cool. So let's jump into some of your updates, Stefan.
Okay.
Stefan. Everyone else here is Stefan. You're the one.
That's true.
Stefan.
I'm the standout. Or the holdout, maybe. Okay, yeah, we got some general adjustments that are for all the characters that are super interesting. First one, Revenge Shield. When you activate Revenge, you get the shield. Is now increased to 120 HP. It used to be 70 HP.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, so the big reason here is that we see at top level play, the best players, when they enter Revenge, aren't dying too often anyway. So the difference between 70 and 120 is maybe not the end of the world for them, not going to make too much change. But I think it'll help a lot for lower intermediate level play. You stay alive a little more frequently when you get Revenge. So it should help against group fight ganks.
It's usually 2 heavies more.
Exactly.
It's usually what? Sorry?
2 heavies.
2 heavies. Yeah. Which heavies? 2 heavies.
So a little more survivability for you in
that'd be nice.
these number of situations.
Cool.
So that should be pretty cool. Next one, that's for across the board. We increase the time it takes to revive from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Reason for this is we see a lot of times people res in combat, and it can be hard depending on certain setups.
And the time it takes you to start your sprint, do your sprint attack, etc. Might be a little bit short. So 4 seconds gives you more advantage. It's easier to interrupt somebody that is starting a race.
Exactly. Okay.
Go ahead.
And
I was holding my finger up to interject, but
I don't know what you wanted to interject, but I'm just going to say we've heard a lot about, like, there's Death Ball, and it can be very difficult to defeat group fights. These are 2 things that we think will start to turn the tide just a little bit in the favor of the outnumbered situations. So maybe you don't want to run around in 4-person groups.
Honestly, I'm more excited for the
These
event
2
order.
things are going to be slightly working against you than they were.
Cool. So I wanted to mention about Revive. We saw at E3 in this Breach build that we're talking about, we're going to do a tech test on. One of the changes in Breach at E3 is you get revived at 50% health,
That's true.
which I saw universal positive response to. Is it something we're thinking of bringing to the full game?
It is definitely something we're thinking we might see it in a future patch.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Sooner than later.
We call that a professional tease, everybody. Cool. Is that all?
Very
Or do you
professional,
have
much
more?
wow.
More for you, Eric. Yes.
Nice.
We've normalized side dodges recoveries to 600 MS.
Normalizing
This
side
means
dodges.
Shaman was 500, is now 600. Armusha was 5, is 6. Lawbringer and Shugoki, for example, who had really long ones, are shortened. So everyone's 600. This is the camera I gotta look at.
Very
Thanks,
subtle,
Max.
Max.
There's a cool dancer. And basically this means that we now know very well, hey, the guy side dodged. Can he beat this move or that move? Yes, no. Can they beat it with a guard break? Is this punishable? Yes, no. And it's across the board.
It's a slight nerf of faster characters.
Exactly. And it should help in like the Lawbringer versus Conqueror situation, which is not good for Lawbringer, but now should be a little better.
So there's another adjustment also on dodge.
Yes, we've removed the side dodge's ability to move backward at the same time. This is because
Yeah, that one.
last patch, or maybe 2 patches ago, we normalized back dodge for a similar reason, just to make it hard to escape from setups. But you could have diagonal back dodged before using side dodge, and now that's out. So you're gonna have to stand and fight a little more often,
Nice.
which is super cool.
I like it.
Finally, for all characters, on a successful drop attack, you no longer lose health. You used to go down to maybe 1 HP if you did a really high drop attack, and now it's like, well,
Yeah.
it was a little strange to communicate, like, hey, didn't I kill that guy, but now I'm dead?
Yeah, the
but are
risk
they dead?
reward on drop attacks was a little.
Yeah. So now if you hit it, you're happy.
Wow.
You live.
Nice. Nice. And Rahman, we continue to make matchmaking updates.
So yeah, of course, backend we're continuing to improve and tune the matchmaking. But we
That's
have the
good that they
bug
did that. They've been
where
needing to do that
the
since day
message
one.
that we display when you matchmake, we're displaying you when we release parameters.
Right,
this
like
kind of thing,
expanding to-
exactly when we expand the stuff. And the text was not really accurate in terms of timing compared of how it was actually being a null backend. So sometimes we would display you, oh yeah, we're looking for everybody, whatever the skill range, where it
It wasn't really there yet.
wasn't there yet. So now the text should be more accurate with what's happening under the hood.
Cool. And I posted on Reddit, it's maybe still up. We were asking for everybody's feedback on matchmaking again. We did it a couple weeks ago when we started making some of
Highlander.
these changes, and we've continued
Didn't
making
see both.
changes. We reset MMR, and in the meantime, people have kind of, their MMR is readjusted, caught back up to where they should be. And we're seeing really good
Bring back a lock tech.
results on our end, data side, and we wanted to see if people in the community are feeling better about matchmaking than we were a few weeks ago. A lot of people already left feedback, so thank you for that. If you haven't, pop over to that thread, because it'll help us.
But there is an important point on matchmaking, is that there's difference between your
Light
skill
spam
and your
nerf for
reputation.
Orochi,
Yeah.
please, yes.
Yeah.
And so we try to matchmake you first on your skill,
Right.
and then in the skill bucket that we found, we try to matchmake you then with somebody with the same range of reputation. But why are we doing that? Because skill is really reflects how good you are
Yeah.
at the game, how much you win, how much you lose, etc. Reputation reflects more the how much time you've put in the game.
Yeah.
And starting, so yes,
Your
at low
commitment to
level,
the game.
exactly. At low level, yeah, reputation and skill, it's not exactly the same, but prior to let's say 100 hours or so, it's in the same ballpark. But when you get to higher reputation level, then your reputation and your skill doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Especially since when you're playing in custom match, so training, and when you're training hard, you don't get any XP, so your reputation doesn't go up. So we have some really good players that don't have reputations in the 3 digits,
Yeah.
for example. So that's an important thing to have in mind, is that skills does not equal reputation. Otherwise, I would be one of the most skillful players of For Honor. Because in 6 years, I can tell you my reputation level is quite high.
Pretty high.
And I'm really bad.
You're not really bad. You're not like as bad.
I'm bad compared to actual
Yeah.
good player.
Steph's
So,
pretty good.
Yeah,
Steph's
it's
pretty good.
Way much better than me, and I'm not sure he has a bigger reputation level than me.
No, you have a terrible reputation.
Everywhere I go, yeah.
So that's one thing to have in mind. So then, at the same skill level, we try to find people that have your reputation. But again, we try to prioritize skill over reputation.
And then also balance that with not taking too much time
Yes.
to find a match too. So it's a
So that, for example, that was something we tested earlier this year, where we had adjust the duration to take a bit more time to try to find players with a skill closer to you. And what we saw, both in terms of data, but also in terms of the feedback that you were receiving, it was not improving that much.
Right.
The experience and the additional waiting time was actually more frustrating.
yes.
So we came back a little bit backward on this one. So we're
yeah.
continuing to adjust because also matchmaking time and how fast we release parameter or how strict those parameters are, it's also linked to the population. So based on the fluctuation of the population in the game, we're also constantly
Yep.
adjusting those.
Yes, and I think our PC players have
It's a bit
seen,
rocket science.
with the influx of new players, they've seen the matchmaking times do really well too.
Yeah.
Hey, this is something I'm excited about.
Text chat. So we've made some changes on text chat. So first one, no by default, text chat is set to team.
Team instead of group. So you can talk to your teammates by default.
Yes, exactly. And now there is a mature language filter,
Yes.
and it's set on by default.
Bad words, be gone.
So if you play with me, chances are that you're not gonna read a lot of things that I'm gonna say. And also, we track your test chat.
Yeah.
And if you get reported, or if you report somebody, automatically we will match that tracking to the moment of the report.
Yeah, your use of bad words will negatively affect your player. This is not your public reputation that we show you, but we kind of have a back-end system of how toxic a user is. If you're using certain words frequently, even though they'll be filtered, we still know that you're using them, and that's still kind of toxic. So
Why every morning I have to reset my account.
yeah. So this is, this is something we've talked about before on the show with Damien. It's always been a big priority of the team to tackle toxicity, and this is a big help in that direction, while also allowing us to put the scope back so people can communicate more.
Yeah.
Right, because we kind of locked it down for a while because we didn't have these tools, and I know that it frustrated people because they actually, a lot of times people want to help other players, and we get that.
It's a
So-
team-based game.
yeah, exactly. So modes like
Helps
tribute
to be
can be
able
very
to speak
hard.
to people.
So I'm very happy with this change. And
So-
yeah,
Now that we have the filter, now that we can actually track your logs, by default you will be able to speak to your team.
yeah, team play, cool. And that's it for big. That's it for features. But there's some bug fixes that you also want to talk about, right, Steph?
Yeah, a couple bug fixes on a couple of heroes. We'll just hit the highlights, and the rest you can read in the patch notes later. Conqueror is no longer going to be able to full block stance a minion and flail uppercut a hero. I know that sounds terrible. It worked the first day, and then it got messed up. So now, yeah, you can block a minion, but you can't flail uppercut the person in front of you. You have to block them.
You will be, Conqueror was a bit too strong, close to the minion because of that, because minions on your side. Okay. So you won't be able to exploit it like that anymore.
Yeah, it should still be an okay character, maybe. But yeah, the worst part's gone. Orochi. Zephyr Strike and Storm Rush. Now the stance change at the recovery happens 200 ms later, and you can still attack during that 200 ms. What does that mean? Basically, it means you can delay your lights out of those attacks. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. If you know what that means, top level players, you're going to be happy because that means you're going to hit more often with Orochi's second light in the chain. And intermediates and new players, yes, that means basically second light in the chain is going to be strong.
As it should be.
As it should be.
There you go.
Perfect.
Talk about the Nobushi or the Gladiator.
That's why I highlighted those, man. So we go right to Gladiator. You got it.
Okay, go right to Gladiator. Basically, there is fixes for a lot of character, but it's usually animation glitch and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Yeah, the known Bushi one, like, she was able to unlock during certain moves and still perform special attacks. That was unexpected bug. Sorry about that. We fixed it. Gladiator, Sucker Punch. Didn't connect if you threw your opponent into a wall before. Now it will. So the things that you expect to happen will happen as Gladiator, which is good.
Nice.
Finally, a couple things I want to talk about on feats. That Roman will probably beat me up after for, at least on the first one. He's smiling because he knows it's true. Punch Through feat had a bug where as soon as you activate the feat, as soon as you get the level 3 feat available, you would get uninterruptible light attacks and you would get damage on block. If you died, then the uninterruptible property would be gone forever, but the damage on block would stay. So we fixed this to now not have the change after death. So once you get it, you still have uninterruptible attacks, and then once you die, you still have uninterruptible attacks. This is going to be very strong for Conqueror for a little bit. We've already talked. We're going to do a live patch. We'll get rid of this ASAP.
So the intent, what was the intended
what was
fix?
the intent?
The intended fix, they'd only get damage on block. You would not get uninterruptible lights. Because right now we're seeing top players are babysitting their Conqueror who gets their level 3 feat and
then-
keeps him or her alive exactly as long as possible with that uninterruptible light. We think this is too strong, so we're going to take that away. So sorry about that if it does go live for a couple days or a week.
So enjoy it
If you can, guys.
as it's live.
Sorry. Next up, Highlander, Longbow, and Javelin Storm were not able to be activated during offensive form, and now they will be again. This is what we intended from the beginning, and you should be able to now.
Yeah.
Finally, exactly. And finally, Berserker's forward throw will no longer do bleed damage when Sharpened Blades is activated. It was a little weird. It was a punch.
Weird.
Yeah, sorry.
Cool.
Fixed.
Good.
Yeah.
And then it's only small
Little bug fixes,
little
yeah.
bugs like crash has been fixed when you alt tab when you were looking at legacy bundle in store, for example.
Yep.
Those kinds of things.
Cool.
Ah yeah, one on the boats. Actually, boats will now be much better at dealing with Arrow Strike, Fire Flask, Fiat Lux, Igneous Ember, Pugno Mortis, and Spear Storm. They used to be a little bit dumb when you were using those feats against them, standing
Yeah.
in the area like, oh, what's gonna happen? No, they actually see the red things on the ground and they kind of go like, yeah, maybe I should not stay here. So now you will need, like with a real player, and depending of course on the bot level, a little bit of setup in order to be able to use those feats efficiently against the bots.
Cool. Smarter bots.
And that's it.
That's our patch. So it comes out next Thursday. As Steph said, that Conqueror specific thing, we'll follow up with a live patch as soon as we can on that, because that was unintended.
Yeah, we fixed it the wrong way.
Yes. Fixed in the wrong direction. Cool. Steph, do you want to stick around for the E3 recap since you were there with us?
Sure.
Or do you have to go?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So E3 was awesome. E3 was a very good week for us, for the game, for the community. Before we do a little chat about it, we actually put together a video to show you some of the stuff we got up to at E3. We had our Star Players there. Star Players is a Ubisoft program. That's what they call it. They're not celebrities. They're not literally stars, but to us, they're celebrities. So we did a lot with those folks. And it's very familiar names from around our community, people that we actually feature on the Warriors Den frequently. So you'll see them pop up in this video too. So let's check it out, and then we'll come back and chat about E3. E3 has not even begun yet, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to grab our star players for Honor and see what their hopes and expectations are for the week. And then we'll see how we pan out, because maybe they're going to be right, maybe they'll be wrong, and I think it'll be really interesting and fun. So let's go meet them. I work a lot with this guy to make our community hum, to make it jive, to make it work.
What does jive mean?
It doesn't mean anything in this context. You're a sword fighter in real life.
Yes, I am. I Olympic fence. I've been fencing for 10 years.
Tiff is one of our subreddit moderators. He gets to deal with the best and the worst of our community.
Mostly best, I would say.
Ooh, good spin, good spin.
Yeah.
And I want to see For Honor Battle Royale. I think it's the next logical step. And overall, we need more battle outfits. I want to see 1 million battle outfits, colors that will make a grown man cry.
So even though he is one of the people who runs the For Honor community on Reddit, I don't think he knows much about what we're about to show tomorrow. What do you know?
Just the teaser that you're showing out. That's it. That's all I know.
Streamers, cosplayers, artists, tournament organizers, and all of our players, you are For Honor. Indeed. We would not be here without your passion and commitment. You've helped us enrich the experience. Thank you. Join the fight with us. That's not all. Because building on everything that we've learned
This trailer
We're
still
not
gives me
ready.
chills. Still.
to expand our world.
Even though we've seen it like 3
Steph,
times.
are you excited now for people to start getting excited for the characters your team has been working so hard on building their gameplay?
Absolutely. I can't wait to share this information about these heroes. People are going to be hyped. It's going to be awesome.
So proud of the team. People worked so hard on it, and Roman, wow! Roman looks gorgeous on scene. It was amazing.
All right, you've just seen the Marching Fire reveal. What is your reaction?
Mind blown. Because everyone thought we were going to have 1, maybe 2 heroes, but a whole faction, game mode, maps, like, my phone is blowing up. I just want to go home and play it right now. Literally, you guys have outdone yourselves. Like, this is so cool.
I literally just finished crying just from the whole thing. It was amazing.
I know who that
Watching
is.
the Warden
I know who that is.
On mass, walking through, like looking at everything, the new
That's
characters.
Clutches.
It just
Yeah.
felt really emotional and nostalgic for me because I thought about how the game has come so far ever since. Well, I played since the alpha, so ever since the alpha for me.
So you did a poster for us. Was that based solely on concept art, or had you seen them in action?
I've seen some footage of them in action, and like I can't wait to see for you guys to see like actual gameplay, because just seeing them in motion is super cool. But yeah, I got to see concept art, some footage, and that's what the poster was based off of.
And how about that Breach game mode? How do you feel about that?
Like if you browse the subreddit, it's just like siege mode, siege mode, siege mode. Like it's gonna be great.
I am now here at the Ubisoft booth at E3. We are officially in the E3 madness, and For Honor, as you can see behind me, has its own booth presence. People are playing Dominion all day at the booth with our new heroes, the Qiandi and the Shaolin. But we brought something special. We're doing show matches on the stage of the booth every day. We're letting our star players fight against each other with developer team captains in Breach mode, also with the new characters. So it's a really cool way to showcase Breach mode to the folks in the Ubisoft booth at E3. Another thing we got to do is a masterclass that we call it. It's a chance for us to sit down with all the star players from across all the Ubi games and present stuff to them. So we sat down, we talked to them about Marching Fire, we talked to them about designing the Qiandi and the Shaolin. So we had Luke, and we also had our fight designer Stefan join us, and we sat down and walked through those 2 characters' designs. We also talked about all the general Marching Fire stuff with them. We got to answer some questions as well.
Roman did an amazing job on stage. We're so proud of him. Thanks to the team, we managed to do this amazing gameplay trailer with Breach.
Yeah.
Because what people don't know is this trailer was a late addition.
Very late.
A very late addition to our presence on the conference. And we managed to do it because our team back at the studio worked like crazy on that new mode and managed to deliver it, which was super great. And our CGI trailer, a lot of people got tears on their eyes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, with that great song from Katie Garfield, Gallows. I'm super proud.
I loved how much of Ramon's speech was directed at the community too. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, because it's that's who we are. That's why we started with that short video. It's a mosaic video, like that created this For Honor image and the logo based on the community work. And when you said you are For Honor, that is the fact. We've been live for 16 months now. Like, we are June 14 today, so it's 16 months today.
Yeah.
So it's because of the great community work based on their enthusiasm, their involvement, that we managed to go through the storm and come back stronger than ever.
Now I'm joined by a very special guest. You might not know him by face, but this is UB Fred X.
What's up, everybody?
So Fred is our community manager. He has been here at E3 with us this week, which has been a real treat for us and our players, I think. So Fred, you have been part of this game from the beginning, and I wonder, from your perspective, how are you feeling about our new characters? How are you feeling about Breach Mode?
Oh, they're all really cool. Breach Mode looks really
They're gonna
fun.
get nerfed,
It's nice to
that's
have
what I would
a
say.
Change of pace from the modes that we already have, and honestly, new characters are always a good thing. I love seeing the new weapons, and everybody seems to like them. So yeah, I'm excited for when they get released.
I'm now joined by Hell Euphoria. Now, you came to my attention because you constantly do these amazing videos where it's you versus many others, either 1v2 or 1v3 situations. I'm wondering, with these new characters, do you think either Chendi or Shaolin will lend themselves to that?
I think both of them have like a really good potential to sort of fight against multiple opponents. Tiandi's a little bit more, he seems basic on the surface, but I think once you learn his play style and you unlock his moves, he's got a really like deep learning curve.
I love playing the Shaolin. He's probably my favorite. I can't wait to see what people do with him. He's got that one feat where you vanish and you reappear behind him. So you know, I can see a lot of memes coming up with the nothing personnel, kid. And I just want to ask the For Honor memers in general, we can do better. Like, don't. It's too easy. We can do better.
And how do you feel about Breach Mode?
I mean, it's amazing. There's so many things you can do, whereas like in Dominion, it's either you can capture the points or you can kill people and team fights. Whereas here, you can be either attacker or defender. It actually means something. If you're not really good at team fights, you can go capture points. But capturing points in this mode is a lot slower. So, and it's really the minions capturing the points, not you. So you can go on the ballista, you can kill the archers, you can grab the flag to protect your ramp or protect your gate. It calls for a lot more strategy and definitely voice communication.
Because it completely changes the entire meta I know around For Honor, which is the death ball. If you can death ball well, you can win any match. In this match, it forces you to be tactical. It forces you to switch up the objectives or else you will lose. You have to work with your team, you have to communicate.
Hey everybody, Eric Pope here. That's what people don't see, is me messing up more often than actually saying the right thing.
They don't see that, eh?
They don't, well, wow.
There was no footage of you playing tennis, table tennis.
That's true, because I'm terrible at it and no one could see that. We did play a lot of ping pong and I lost a lot. Asari and I played against our producer, Stefan? Not Stefan, that's Stefan. And he just destroyed us. Asari was good though, I was.
No, it's actually better. Steph is better at ping pong than at beer pong.
Is he better at ping pong than basketball? Because he's quite the ball player. He's a baller, I've been told. No, not so much?
He wish he was better at basketball, I think.
Wow! Shots fired! I hope he's watching.
Shots fired.
So what did you think of E3, Roman? You've done this a number of times now.
It was a really great E3. Yeah, it's my 10th, I think. Maybe. No, it was a great E3 because it's the first time I'm going to E3 without announcing brand new game or new IP or stuff. And but more announcing continuity. And so I was a bit unsure about what's going to be not only the reception but also the mood getting there and so on. And honestly, it blows my mind. It was really good. People were really excited with where we are going.
Yep.
The reception was awesome, whether it was on the new characters or on on the new mode. And the funny thing, so there is so basically at E3 you have multiple booths. You have the public booth, you have the journalist booth, you have stuff. And so in the VIP area where journalists get to play the game, in that area there were other Ubisoft projects with us. And at some point they were really mad at us. True story, because when people were playing Breach, they were screaming so much. And so on.
People are
because
trying
of
to get
excitement, etc. And the other team were trying to do interview and stuff, and you would hear people playing For Honor on top, and they were, come on, like, yeah, go tell the people to shut the fuck up, yeah, please.
Good luck with that.
And no, that was the kind of mood, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I spent a good deal of time at the public portion of the booth. And there's this amazing thing that happened. There's this group of guys that I think about 5 or 6 of them, they played all 3 days of E3. They would stand in line, play, and the booth was Dominion mode with Tiandi and Shaolin. They would play.
That was the public booth.
Yeah, the public. And they didn't know each other. But literally all week they play, get back in line, play, get back in line. And we gave them a poster. We gave them one of these every time they played, just like, hey, if you're going to spend that much time with us, take a poster for each one. And by the end of the week, when I actually met them, they were all like friends. They did everything together. They stuck together as a group. They didn't know each other before E3. It was kind of amazing, like, to see this unit come together because of For Honor. And thank you guys for spending so much time at the booth. We organized a couple of dev matches with them just because, like, hey, they're here all day. Let's get some devs to play. And they just destroyed us because they were super good. That's what I love about E3 and these public events is you get crazy moments like that kind of happen. But the reception was super good. We did get some questions from the announcement that I thought would be a good chance to clarify. So I've got those here.
Okay.
This is a big one I've gotten.
Yes, Eric.
Yes. This is a big one I've gotten, and it's just a point of clarification because we didn't say one way or the other. Do I get the new Wulin heroes? There's 4. They're all coming at once. Do I get them
October 16th.
October 16th. Do I get them with my season pass?
No, because the season pass it's for the 2017 content. So
Right.
with the season pass, you get the 6 characters of the season pass.
Yeah.
The Centurion, Gladiator, Shinobi, Aramusha, Shaman, and Islander. Those are the 6 characters that you get in the season pass. The Wulin, the 4 Wulin characters are coming with Marching Fire.
Right.
And so they're coming on October 16, and it's a different package.
Yeah, Marching Fire is going to be its own package. Get you those.
But just like the season pass character, if you don't buy the Marching Fire package after a period of
Early access
that is still being defined but should be in line with the season pass one, you can unlock them through play with still in game.
Yeah. And the same price in Steel as DLC characters.
Should be.
This is what I've been told.
Me too.
So you don't get these characters with season pass on. Interesting.
I'll be destroyed. Where can I pre-order Marching Fire? The answer is you can't yet.
Yet.
We're not there yet. We will let
Yet.
you know. Trust us. We will let you know when you can pre-order this thing.
We'll see about that.
We will not miss that. So stay tuned on pre-order. This is a good one, actually, for this man. You can answer it too if you want, Roman. So, because we are giving new heroes, 4 of them, in fact, which is a lot of work, does this mean there won't be any more reworks of the original heroes?
No.
I'm going to put reworks in quotes because that is a contentious term.
Improvements, buffs,
updates.
slash, whatever, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. We will still be getting reworks, whatever,
Yeah.
for some heroes. Some will be before, some will be after.
Dope.
But the important point is we're not gonna rework necessarily all the heroes of the game just because you think that your character is not strong enough or not good enough or whatever. We're gonna continue to balance, but not all characters are necessarily gonna get the same level of work that we've put on the Orochi or the Kensei, for example. but some still yes.
Right. I mean, if you pay attention to the blogs that Steph's team has been doing, the balance blogs, they sort of give you a sense of where we're at and where we need to do a little more work. So that can kind of give you a hint of where we're going.
Like for example, I was seeing the other day a guy saying, "Oh yeah, the Lawbringer sucks. He's really bad at opening people, and we need a rework of the Lawbringer." What do you think about that, Steph?
It's a Lawbringer.
My answer is first learn how to play your Lawbringer, then we'll see how much.
This is one word. Roman, you're going to get me in trouble with that answer.
The important part
get me in trouble with that answer.
The important part to know is that we want all heroes to be competitively viable.
Yeah, right.
If you pick them, we don't want you to be sad because you picked, oh, this hero sucks, blah, blah, blah. We're at a pretty good stage right now where 2/3 of them are tournament viable, can win. And then we have a few more that will be soon.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to we'll always have stronger character, weaker character, and we're always going to buff the weaker one. They will become too strong. Blah, blah, blah. That's
the process.
The process. That's the life of a live game and balancing. So
exactly, but this power band is getting smaller all the time.
But some character, and even more than power issues, that for me would be the example of the PK. It's some characters also, or the Conqueror, had issue, or still for some have issue with their playstyle. In the sense that yes, they have some moves that are okay and allow them to win or win consistently, but it's not really necessarily the best fun you can have fighting against them or fighting as them.
Right.
So that's also something that we want to address. It's not only balancing wise, it's also playstyle.
Yeah, and that, one of the things in that last blog post also was kind of bringing up feats as a lever to
I wonder if they're ever going to
kind
do
of mix things
Dominion
up. And
without
maybe that's where
feats.
Lawbringer might see some changes.
And if you remember last year, we did extensive balancing. Last summer, we did extensive balancing on the feet. We reworked a lot of the feet, rebalanced a lot of the feet. And for the moment, we step back a little bit from the feet, and it's possible that it's going to be back on focus, yes.
Cool. Okay, so another thing that I saw, and this is kind of typical when we show new things, is people extrapolating from what we show what might be problematic. So where it comes to Breach, there was concerns that I saw in the community that it might be imbalanced on the side of the defenders.
Yeah.
And if that's something we're concerned about.
Yeah, of course. Balancing a mood, it's always tricky. And whether it's balancing a mode, balancing a map, that for
People
example,
are thinking Breach
Dominion,
is
it's a
unbalanced
symmetrical
stage.
mode, yes,
Only
but a lot of maps
we'll see.
are symmetrical. Same thing with Tribute. The mode is symmetrical, the maps are asymmetrical. In Breach, the mode is also asymmetrical. Is it a challenge to balance it? Yeah, definitely. And currently, on the floor, is the mode balanced? No. Definitely
Which is
not.
exactly what we were talking about with the tech test.
And so that's one of the reasons for having workshops here, or for doing tech tests, or this type of initiative. It's to help us collect data and feedback on the balancing of the mode to be as ready as we can when we will launch the mode. Then on October 16, is the mode going to be perfectly balanced and competition ready? Spoiler, no. No, it's not.
But it'll be a focus to get.
But it will be as polished and as balanced as it is possible with the number of testers and devs and star player that we'll have and the number of live players that we have done. But the number of players that you have playing the game every day and the number of match they do versus the number of match that we can actually trigger even in a big live period. It's not at all the same comparison. So yes, new strategies that we haven't seen will emerge in the first days of live, etc. And we will continue to maintain it. We will update it as soon as we can, of course. But in the meantime, between now and launch, we are gonna do everything that we can in order to make it as polished and as balanced as possible.
It's a big focus.
Starting with the technical test.
Yeah, and there'll be multiple private and public chances for us to show it to players as we lead up to launch, which is cool.
But just like an example, E3.
Yeah.
So E3, only some players and some press were able to play the mode. Still, in 3 days, how many matches we had per day? We had like 30, 50 matches per day, every day, during 3 days. Okay, that's already 100. And actually, we started a bit earlier because there is some private events. So let's say we had more than 200 matches played. That's already an interesting data for us on 3 or 4 days. Why? Because it was a lot of people that never saw the mode before. So here it was not for end game balancing, but more for the first strategies and
first time experience.
Exactly, and understanding of the mode and the various ingredients and what seems OP at first and not, and this kind of thing. That's also valuable information.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So yes, we also get it through playtest, but when we do 3 days of playtest, we don't have as many people as we have at E3 playing the game.
What I think is cool is the team. Speaking for you guys, the team is all super aligned on the importance of doing everything we can to make Breach successful. Because that's been a thing whenever I get the chance to talk to people, whether it's you or Stefan, it's, like, how can we just ensure that Breach is successful? Because, we have currently lots of modes in the game. Some are successful, some are less played. And we all want Breach to be super successful. So the team is highly focused on that.
The mode that are less played, it's not because of an issue of balancing and those kind of things.
True.
It's then what type of experience do you want to play?
Yeah.
Do you want to have in For Honor? And how much are you committed to play in a group with always the same group and develop strategies or not, and those kind of things. But balancing Dominion, it was up. And at launch, actually, the balancing of Dominion was not that bad. And we improved it afterward. Balancing Tribute.
These people are so funny.
And balancing the different benefits of the blessing in Tribute, etc. Same thing with the technical tests we had and the private life period, etc. It was good.
Yep.
And then we made some adjustments, and it's going to be the same with the release of Breach.
And would you say, Steph, that the same thing goes for the release of those 4 characters? It'll be the first time we're releasing 4 characters all at once into the world.
For sure, it's going to be tricky, and I mean, we saw the same thing at E3 as the Breach mode, right? Like, new players, first-time experience, some surprises in terms of selection. I would have thought Xiandi would be most picked, but I keep getting the Shaolin Fantasy.
Oh, yes.
It's so good, right? We got to play that.
Yep.
The 2 others are not going to be in the technical test. But they are going to be in certain other opportunities for players to get a hold of them. Will the 4 go out perfectly balanced? Fingers are crossed, but I mean, we'll see. And we'll balance afterwards, same as the others.
Right.
I think the big thing here is we expect the 4 to be tournament viable characters. If they're a little too strong, we'll nerf them. If they're a little too weak, we'll buff them.
They're gonna get nerfed. It's gonna happen.
The ballpark, we get closer and closer and closer all the time.
Cool. Last big question that I saw, big discussion that I saw about our E3 stuff, and this wasn't even something we talked about too much. I think maybe in a couple of your interviews you discussed it with folks, and it was on the UB blog and stuff, and that was what I think we're calling like our speech realization system, or our personalities. That first of all, maybe give a brief overview of what this is if people haven't heard about it, and then we can answer the discussion that we saw.
So basically, one thing that we are doing in Marching Fire, we are adding more lines of voice and barks and so on for every character. So currently, your character says stuff when they do special move. Incredibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They also have some lines when they trigger some feats and other stuff like respawn. When they're getting
revived.
revived and stuff. But that's a little bit bare bone, if I can say. And so our goal was to add a little bit more realization on that and to make those characters a little bit more alive. and a little bit less an empty shell that don't speak, don't say nothing, and just.
You know, we're not mentioning anything about season 7.
So to have a
This is
bit
all
more
about 8.
flesh on the game.
Just saying, guys.
So in order to do that, what we did is that we've created actual characters on our side, with names and bios. And those guys are the archetype of the unit. So we've created our own warden male, our own warden female with his backstory and so on, and what was he doing before being warden, why he became warden, what does it mean to be a warden for him, and what was his training, the battles he fought, and etc. And we did that in order to then be able to help us write what he's gonna say. So every time you're gonna respawn, what type of flavor text is he gonna say? When you taunt an enemy, what type of flavor text? When you're facing somebody, you're locked on him, and for a couple of seconds, nobody has attacked or blocked something, there's gonna be like, and then if another character said that to him, is he gonna respond? And with why is he gonna respond? So to add a bit more flesh on the character, and to have them more alive. So in order to do that, yes, we needed to give them personality. But that personality is the personality of the character. It's the personality of the unit. It's the personality of the warden at large, or of the peacekeeper, of the Aramusha, or whatever character. We are not, and we will never be Mercy.
Right.
It's the peacekeeper. And so she's never gonna say, I'm Mercy and I kill you.
Yeah.
No. She's gonna say something mean that any peacekeeper would say.
Something that fits, like you said, the archetype.
That fits the archetype. And the way we wrote it, we fleshed out a bit more Mercy and define her as the archetype of the peacekeeper. But it's never be Mercy give you peace. No.
Right.
So it's
I give you
always
peace. I like
gonna
that.
it's always gonna be an archetype.
Right.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so exactly. So what the...
And the last thing, in terms of voice, also, most of them are voiced by the same
actors.
Same actors
Oh, cool.
that we were using. For some, we made some adjustments, but it's in the same line.
When the audio guys told me about this, because they read Reddit so much, so whenever there's when they have made changes and people are like, where did my favorite line go? They're the ones who come and like, don't worry, we're on it. So they came over and they told me, they pitched this whole thing, like, this is the thing we're doing. Just so you know, we know, Ra is still in there. Well, that's good.
Yeah, all the lines, everything that exists today will still be in the game. We are just adding stuff and making them more alive and giving them a bit more personality. But we are not transforming them into a character. You're still playing the Peacekeeper. You're not playing Mercy.
And that was just for context for people watching. That was something
I call her
discussed.
Mercy
Like,
anyway
hey,
because
I've
it just
spent 16
this is
months
legit.
playing this game. This is my warden. I don't want to play another character that I'm being told, and that's sort of where the root of that discussion was. And I think you just gave a great response. I also wanted to share our narrative director's response because he saw this discussion while we're at E3. I didn't even have to ask him about it. He saw the discussion.
Yes.
And so he wrote.
That's what we're doing. We're not doing the things that you think are wrong. We're doing.
So he said, we had the very same concerns and therefore ensured that we don't disrupt the fantasy of having your archetype to create the way the players want. What this means is that they have unique voices with a personality, but they don't talk about themselves as if they're a unique hero, as Roman said. It's the I'm not Mercy type thing. They'll come with a personality, but one that isn't bound to a specifically named hero. It's more about keeping the attitude of the archetype, and then he gave this example for the Shaolin. We've created a character named Wei Cheng. And by reading his story, you understand how one Shaolin came to be who he is today. But he never speaks as if he is Wei. He speaks like he is a Shaolin. So you'll hear lines like, hear my prayers as he attacks, but he doesn't refer to Wei's specific origin story. So yeah, TLDR, the archetypes will be honored as we give them unique voices.
And
so I hope that sort of settles the worries.
And something that is interesting also with these backstories is that we use them, yes, for a speech system, but we actually use them
Unmasked
for more stuff. For example, if we take the example of the Shaolin,
that'd be something.
The way we wrote the backstory was to give a justification for that character, not necessarily for the archetype of why that character has all the tattoos. It's because, Wei Temple got burned by during the Civil War by another Wulin army, and so he tattooed all the prayers and mantras of his own order on his skin to never forget them. That's the backstory of Wei. Other Shaolin with different customization might not have the tattoos. And if you have a Shaolin and you decide to do tattoo pattern, you can come with whatever story you want, because never in his box is gonna say, oh, that means because my temple has been burnt. No.
Right. And the other thing is, like, it's actually a really good tool for us internally, because then the art team and narrative team and fight team and animation and audio and everyone along the path can think about what is this character like, and then how do we all make a cohesive package hero together.
So for the future characters, to help us make a more cohesive character. For the existing one, when we're adding new things, it helped us also have those new things that will come. Spoiler. Will help us have those new things more aligned with the character.
Yeah, I just looked at chat, which people tell me not to do during the show, but I did anyway. And I saw people saying lore, and like that is a thing we know that a segment of our community wants more of the lore, more of the narrative stuff, and we're starting to layer it in here and there, coming up over the next.
More long-term process, but yes.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more and more of that.
More and more of lore.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is what I got for FAQs during E3. Thank you, gentlemen.
Any other question in chat that we could answer or no?
I didn't see. People are
Ask
shouting.
your questions to Alex.
People are shouting lore. If you have any questions right away. Otherwise, we're going to go to Community Corner and watch some clips. I don't know if you guys want to stick around for clips. Yes. Yeah? Oh, damn. Wow. It's usually just me on the couch by myself chuckling. So if you have any questions, we can grab them during Community Corner, and Ramon or Steph could answer them. So
in between the clips.
Yes. So why don't you hit...
Sorry, I gave you some work, Alex.
She's so mad. Max, hit the transition, and then let's start having some fun.
I'm gonna go now.